I said, we'll rotate about 45. Let's get the nose up, and then it'll lift off about 60, and we'll pitch for 75 miles an hour and climb out. Get that nose up a little bit.
Doesn't take very much pitch to get up off the ground, does it?
No. You can see we're doing 1,000 feet a minute climbing out. And about 500 feet, we'll start our turnout to the west. Apopka traffic lights 413 Golf X-ray is turning crosswind for runway 15, departing to the west Apopka. If you want to go ahead and take the controls, and it's sensitive in pitch or responsive.
Okay.
And just small movements, and you don't need to, you can kind of just fly with your fingertips.
Okay.
And we'll kind of just head out over the fields over there and fly around some. You can keep it climbing up to about 1,500 feet, and then we'll level off up there. You can bring the nose up a little bit more.
Okay. Use your rudder at all when you're flying up and away, or is that just for when you're landing?
Well, you're going to use it, turns and everything. What you're going to use the rudder for mainly, keep that ball centered.
Yeah, for side slip?
Yeah, okay. So when we're making turns and stuff, you're just going to have to step on the, whichever way you're turning that rudder.
Okay.
Right now it's centered, but you know, if we started to turn to the left or right, you'll have to use the rudder then.
Alright.
And yeah, as we get to 1,500 here, you can lower the nose. We'll bring the power back to about 4,200. And we'll kind of just head to the northwest corner there and let you fly around. So this is the trim, nose trim. So if you want it to go up a little more, you push down on this. If you want the nose to go down, you push up.
Boston traffic, Cherokee 604 Fox.
So yeah, if it has a tendency to go up, yeah, just run the nose down. So other way. You want the nose down, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so push up. There you go. So we're cruising along, burning 3.4 gallons per hour, about 100 miles an hour. You can't beat that for your fuel economy.
That's pretty good. What were the winds today? Were they 5 to 10 or so? I mean, I don't really feel anything.
Yeah, it really wasn't even. I think they're variable at about 4 miles an hour.
Okay.
So it's pretty calm. In fact, we could look it up on this. We run through. It hasn't picked it up yet, but it'll pick up Leesburg's winds and tell us more. Point 001.
Leesburg Regional Airport, Leesburg, Florida.
Automated weather observation 1553 Zulu. Wind calm. Visibility 10.
So you can see wind was calm.
So this is pretty funny. I mean, the only flying that I've done was stick on, of course, like flight simulators.
Yeah.
This seems a lot easier. I mean, this seems. I mean, seriously, because like holding an altitude seems a lot easier. Not taking a whole lot of trim.
Yeah, well, on a day like this, it's real easy because there's no turbulence or anything.
Yeah.
You get days where it's a little turbulent. You'll be bouncing around, 20 to 50 feet and that, but you can usually the plane pretty much flies itself,
Right.
And we do have autopilot. But the big thing is looking for other aircraft, talking on the radio, dealing with that kind of stuff. And that's why this helps us a lot. These little boxes, those are other planes.
Okay.
And like the plus 20 means he's 2,000 feet above us, and then that line is where he's going.
Right.
So there's a little bit of stuff, not much, but that, and if we zoom out too, this also gives us weather radar. At least if there's rain in the area, it'll tell us. Doesn't appear to be any right now, or hasn't picked it up. But it'll tell, give us all the radar for storms in that area. But yeah, let's just make a turn up towards the north. We'll head up that way. And that's where you can see a little bit of rudder you need, so step on the right rudder. Brings that ball right back in.
Hey, Rock, where you at? I am about 12 miles.
Where's the turn rate indicator?
That's this bar across top. That bracket's a 2-minute turn rate.
Oh, okay. So that's the standard turn?
Yeah.
That's car 5-4.
And then you can level off and head that way now.
About 3 miles to the west of Santa Fe flight.
Are you familiar with the pattern?
I think I'm in the 3 Tango. Most to the north.
Yeah, I know it's parallel to that road, to the 441.
What's your altitude?
Yeah, basically we're going to fly a rectangle around the airport. You kind of just aim straight for the runway, or middle of the airport.
Okay.
And there's a guy flying right there.
Yeah, I see him.
That's the Erica. We're just to the north of Lake Parkus. We're kind of to the northwest.
I don't know where he's going now. Looks like a
that
helicopter.
direction to Lakeland. Are you going to be playing around over there for a while? No, we're being wanted back to the airport. We should be south of I-4 here in about a minute.
You pretty much make a racetrack pattern, and
Yeah, it's pretty much a rectangle.
is it always clockwise pattern or what?
It's usually left traffic, which means you're making left turns, so that'd be...
Did we actually overfly and then come around?
Well, this one's a little different because Zellwood doesn't want us flying over them.
Okay.
So this one is, clockwise. Normally they're counterclockwise.
Okay.
So right about here you can start your turn so that we're parallel to runway, which on here if you turn to about 3-3.
All right, roger.
Traffic lights 413 Golf X-ray is joining the downwind for runway 15 Apopka.
Traffic Cherokee 90209.
Level wings right about here.
3 miles southeast.
So now we're pretty much parallel to runway.
Entering left downwind for runway 4.
And then as we get to the end of it here, pretty much what we'll do, we'll just bring the power back to about 2700. And we'll get under 80 miles an hour into the white arc for flaps. Bring that nose up a little bit, and then we'll bring in about 15 degrees to start. And then we want to maintain 75 miles an hour, so just as you see the speed dropping down, just lower the nose a little bit, and here we can go ahead and start our base turn. So we'll turn down, bring the 3-3 to about this tick mark, or to this tick mark. Apopka traffic lights 113 Golf X-ray is turning base for runway 15. Okay. Looking good. And a little bit of power, so we're getting a little low. Yeah, right about there is good. Now we're perpendicular to the final course. And then just about as we cross 441 here, we'll turn to final. Apopka traffic lights 113 Golf X-ray is turning final for 15 Old South Apopka. Alright, 2 white lights, so a little bit high, but that's fine. I'd rather be high than low. Go ahead and get lined up here, come back on the power. And you can see as one light there turns red. That's right on glide slope right there. And we pretty much fly it down into ground effect. We'll kind of just hold it off here as it slowly loses air speed. Hold it off. It'll ever come down.
It's just floating there.
Yeah.
You get it into ground effect and you just kind of let it float and come off throttle to let it float in, or?
Well, we're pretty much at idle on final.
Okay.
And yeah, you get it ground effect and just kind of let it bleed off the airspeed, just hold it there.
Okay.
Because you can't force it down because it still wants to fly.
Okay.
So yeah, we just let the airspeed bleed off. And then once it's just lost enough airspeed that it can't fly, it's pretty much down. You kind of fly it onto the runway.
Okay.
Like I said, that's kind of the hardest part of learning how to fly this, is landing it. But it's not that complicated. You know, it takes, I think our average student's around 100 to 120 landings. By then they've got it.
Okay.
Alright, and then for shutdown, we'll just turn the avionics off, key off, and then master off.